I'm a sophomore here at the University of Arizona, and I'm currently a retail and consumer science major, and I'm getting my minor in business. And the question I was asked was, what are some study tips that you guys could use as college students or even as high school freshmen? One of the things that I advise is to never procrastinate and try to study before an exam, because you will never ever proceed as a student like that. What you need to do is make sure that you're studying at least a week in advance before your test. Also make sure that you're maybe setting up office hours or going to see your instructor or your teacher, professor, whatever it may be, and see if they can offer you some study tips. Maybe progressing yourself throughout the course and studying every night. So it might be like you're just rewriting the notes that you took inside of a class for the day, or maybe it would be like using outside resources, maybe going to computer, going to tutoring. Tutoring is always a big thing, so make sure that you take advantage of tutoring. And what other advice could I give you?
Could I ask you what you're studying right now? Could we
right
maybe
now, I'm
peer
actually
into
studying classical Greek mythology, and I'm learning about Oedipus and the orifices right now. And so one of the things that I do is, which is a really good study tip, is I print out the slides that my professor gives me, and I make sure that I take those slides with me to class, so that way I'm following along with what he's instructing, and then when I go home that night I can go over what I wrote down, everything that I studied in class, and that way I can, better prepare myself for exams, because in this particular class, we have tests after every 3 class periods. So I need to make sure that I'm on top of my game, because if I'm not, then I'm gonna fall behind, and we don't want that, because we want to succeed. So
That's great. And we're not in the library, obviously, so where are we now, and talk a little bit about that.
Okay, well, currently we are in the Martin Luther King Center, which houses African American Student Affairs. Here in the center is where a lot of anybody's welcome to come in here, but students can come in here for tutoring, if they want to just relax and lounge on the couches, if they want to watch some TV. We actually have the cheapest printing here on campus, so it's actually 5 cents, which is really good. So a lot of students take advantage of that. We have open computers to where students, if they have like an assignment that they need to take care of, or if they're just trying to get some stuff prepared before they go to a class, and they can take advantage of that as well. And the center also houses a lot of the African American based clubs and organizations here on campus. It's really good. So if you were interested in Greek life, or if you were interested in a club that had to do with your major, you can come into the MLK Center and get that information as well. So that's kind of a little bit about the MLK Center and what we have to offer here.
Great, Chica. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
My name is Hanad, and I'm a sophomore at U of A. I'm majoring in journalism, and a lot of the keys to studying for me would be to pretty much, try and, if they give you study guides, follow those study guides. Make sure you review and preview the work that you do and the work that you're going to do. Also, I would say to be able to make sure that you exercise, that you let out all the extra stress, so that you can focus on when you want to do your work. You can do your work, and when you need that break, you can get that break, because that's very important.
That is very important.
Because otherwise, you'll burn out, and then it'll be so hard to get back into the groove of doing the schoolwork.
And what are you studying now, just out of curiosity? Can I take a peek here?
Yeah, I'm doing math. That's what I'm doing. Finishing up some homework.
And then how do you study for your math test? Do you...
Well, they give us practice questions that we can do, so like 3 days before the test, so we go and we go through them, and I try and do them all, and then what I try to do is once I do them, I try to look at them, see if I did it right, have somebody else check them, see if I got it right, then do it over again so that I can remember how I did these things, so that when we do the test and he has other examples of the same kind of problems, it's already in your mind because you've done it like twice or 3 times or however many times you've done them. So it's repetition is a lot of what helps me do well in math.
Eric, how long have you been a student here at the university?
I started in the fall of 2003, and then I took a little break around the spring of 2006 because I was an engineering major. So I wanted to really figure out what I wanted to do. I wasn't really happy with engineering and didn't really feel like I wanted to do that as a career. So I took some time off. I took a couple of classes at community college, and then I just recently came back here. So this is my first semester back.
Great.
in a while, so.
Great. So, being a student here, how do you study for your classes?
Well, really, I think studying begins from the time you have to be in class, taking good notes. I know that I really try to be more organized with my notes. I use an outline format, so it helps me identify the topic that we're discussing, any small points in between, and then any just details that I know that might come up on a test. If a teacher says this is really important, or this is something that might be on the test, just straight out, I use a highlighter or star technique, just something that'll get my mind to notice that this is what I need to do later. Once I get those notes from my class, I usually go over them at home with my readings, and if I need to maybe make flashcards or something, start my own. In political science, which is my major, there's a lot of writing, there's heavy emphasis on that. So a lot of the tests are essay format or short answer. So it kind of helps to make flashcards or another type of device that'll allow me to study and actually get the practice of writing out what I want to say. So.
Great. How about right before a test? Do you ever get anxiety?
Not really. I don't really have a lot of trouble taking tests or have fears of taking tests. I noticed coming back to the university, I wasn't really nervous, but I kind of was anxious to see how it was going to be here after going to Pima. I mean, I did really well in all my classes there. And then coming back, I was just anxious to see, because some of the advisors had told me that things were different. So, but it really hasn't proven to be any more difficult than it was over there. So I feel really prepared usually when I take them.
Do you have any advice for high school students on how they can prepare for college?
Definitely practice your note-taking ability. What you learn in your lectures really carries over into what the professors want you to have written down for the test, as well as take your time to do your readings. Not just like read through them, but try to do your understanding of it. And don't try and bunch it all up and wait till when you're gonna have a test. Try and spread it out throughout the semester. That way, it's not gonna come all up at once, but you really understand and are able to explain the information to your best ability. In high school, I was a big procrastinator, I'd say. I just, coming from a school where I was really involved in athletics and other extracurricular activities, I'd kind of put my studying off, and I think it hurt me a little bit, but I've learned to become more organized, really detailing, having a good set calendar so I know when my dates are coming up for my papers, for tests, making sure that I'm always on top of my readings, and definitely keeping my papers organized so I'm not like fumbling around looking for where I had these notes in this class, keeping them all in the same composition notebook or whatever binder. In high school, it was a little more haphazard, just had everything thrown in the same folder, same bag, and they're just kind of trying to look for everything the last minute. So really being efficient with my time has helped a lot, and finding a good place to study. Definitely somewhere that's quiet for me, away from people. I don't like to go to some of the busier places that people study on campus, so I try and find small corners where I know not a lot of people are going to go. So.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Eric. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it, and good luck.
Thank you very much.